Sana was already awake when the thunder that was not thunder came. She was lying in the bed she now shared with Damon Blackcreek and staring at the ceiling while he breathed in and out, his chest moving in the slow, deep rhythms of sleep. Their night together had been a hot and urgent one, markedly different to the cautious, early affections when Sana needed to subtly guide her earnest but inexperienced young husband through what she expected of him. Perhaps the uncertain future heralded by the hostile army outside the town's walls had removed his inhibitions somewhat. Sana had not been displeased by the change, although she would have preferred a different cause. She thought the noise actually was thunder at first, but something about the distant, hollow booming sounded wrong, and the weak rays of morning sun striking through the gaps in the wooden shutters were undimmed by clouds. Damon's breathing remained unchanged, so she left him undisturbed. Who knew whether Odem Darkspur would call for an assault today? If so, Damon would need all the rest he could get. If not, there was no need for him to wake just yet. She rolled out of bed and slipped on a robe. Sana had spent all her life wearing wool and furs, and the smooth, cool fabric worn by Naridan nobles was still foreign to her. Nonetheless, it was pleasant on the skin, and adequate for the weather here. Jakortia would swelter under the sun at the height of summer, but for much of the year it was bone-chillingly cold. Narida was warmer, even this far south, and a noble's robe was sufficient when she was merely looking out of the window. Besides, it was good to adopt some of her husband's customs, and the fact she was both rather taller and broader than many Naridans, particularly the women, meant the robe was not quite as modest as it would have been on some. Damon had said nothing, but his eyes had told their own story. Given that Damon was over 10 summers younger than Sana, being the object of his desire was somewhat gratifying. Their marriage had been one of necessity, not love. But it was good that her options for intimacy were not limited to her own hands. She padded to the window and pulled the shutters back. Sure enough, the sun was shining down from the northeast, and there were no thunderheads in the sky, merely high, wispy white streaks, like lines of spray on the ocean. The thunder that was not thunder had stopped as suddenly as it started. Had she imagined it? She was certain she was already awake when she heard it, and that it was not the tail end of a dream. An old man of the clan when Sana was young had often complained of noises no one else could hear, but he had described a whine, not thunder, and there was no mistaking it this time. It was deeper and louder than before, and Sana knew in her heart that it was not thunder. It lacked the rolling quality, and was not either the distant growl or the sudden hammer blow that followed a nearby lightning flash, then tailed off afterwards. "What is that?" Damon asked from behind her. Sana turned to see him sitting up in bed, the cover fallen away from the lean, hard lines of his chest. He would freeze in a Jakorshi winter, and Sana had never thought of herself as one to be attracted to scrawny men. But the world had a way of surprising you. "Your wife does not know," she replied, pushing aside the memory of the previous night, when flickering candlelight had cast interesting shadows as it played over her husband's ruddy skin. "She thought it was thunder at first, but it is not." "What can it be, then?" Damon asked, rising from the bed and approaching her. "It is no herd of dragons." Suddenly, something in Sana's head slotted into place, and she stared out of the window again, as though seeking confirmation, even though she knew there was none to be had. "Do you have mountain spirits here, that sleep poorly?"